All right, the Personnel and Finance Committee is called to order. Alicia is a citizen rep here today, so the co-chair will not be here today. Dr. Times will be stepping in as citizen rep. The minutes of June 12th, 2024. We had no questions about it. Thank you. Next, we have reports and discussion personnel. Good afternoon.
For June to date, the HR department has continued to focus on recruiting, but basically really not too much recruiting going on because we don't have too many job openings right now, but risk management and workers' compensation, just the overall maintenance of HR with employee issues and things of the sort. As of today, we have 104 employees. That's including the summer youth workers and the supervisors and the director of that department. We have one person currently on medical leave. And the positions that we do currently have available is the city manager, the finance director, and 7 of the public safety officers, as well as we're still hiring for park attendants.
You said 7? Be down 7 police officers?
7 public safety officers.
And the park attendants, how many do we have? How many do we need?
As of, well, how many we need?
Yeah, do we plan to budget to hire? I don't know.
Right. So the thing is with the park attendants, there are part-time.
Okay.
And right now we only have 2 people.
Okay.
It's one person that is full-time, but he works as a recruit in the public safety department.
Okay.
But we only have one part-time person as of right now working in parks.
So how many looking for? 2 more?
I have about 2 or 3 more, to cover all the shifts on the continuous basis. But I believe right now the public safety department is covering like the times that no one is scheduled.
Right. Oh, go ahead. Ms. Felicia, you have a question?
I have a question, Ms. Lisa. How long will the employment be for the the park attendant? Is it all year long?
It's until the season is over, which is October 31st.
Thanks. That's what I want.
That concludes the,
Okay. All right. Next we have, any questions on personnel? All right. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
We're gonna bring on a senior accountant to help with the finance area. So
Will you talk into the mic, please? I'm a little hard of hearing.
I said we're gonna bring on a senior accountant to help in the finance area. Also, we're gonna be looking for a couple of able-bodied young men part-time to help with refuse pickup. Because we need people and we just don't have them. And we have these discussions about people looking for work. If you know somebody that can fit the bill and do it, let us know.
Okay. So say it again, senior accountant,
Yes.
looking for one, or you
We're hard one.
hire one, and so these, for public works?
Yeah, we're looking for a couple of part-time people in public works to help throw trash. Because what's happening there is that we were deficient in personnel to begin with. And first priority goes to trash pickup. So even though I would like to have people, while trash is being picked up, that's a regular weekly thing, I like to be able to send crews out to patch potholes and take out the trimmer to pick up limbs and stuff that are laying down you know, but we don't have it because if somebody's out sick or whatnot, everybody's on trash truck. And, older guys aren't really ideal for trying to have pick up and dump trash. But if we could get some young men that are able-bodied and want to work, we can put them on the trash truck and help.
Could you give us some little background on the senior accountant?
The gentleman that was the accountant when I was over at Dollar Ride, Cliff Allen, is available, and actually initially was trying to see if they needed him because they've got a problem too. But we've got one, and it will help if he's able to relieve some of the load that's on Rhonda and do some of the work that's more routine that, as Rhonda said to us a number of times, it doesn't make sense for her to have to be doing at $120 an hour regular work that really reasonable person with some accounting background could do. And this gentleman, as I said, he handled the accounting function over there by himself for me while I was there, and I know that he's competent, he's qualified, and that's a problem we have, is finding competent, qualified people.
And how much is we gonna pay him? When does this start?
$70,000 start today.
Start today. And that is a city manager hired too.
That is correct, the city manager.
But Commissioner Henry.
Lord, I'm ready. Now I'm gonna make sure I heard this right, so I won't be spinning over here, my head spinning. If I hear through the chair that the city manager, intern city manager, just hired somebody for $70,000 to be what?
Senior accountant.
Where is that? Wait a minute, let me go to the structure. It's in here, I just saw it.
Yes.
That's a new position. The senior accountant wasn't like a previous position, so that's a new position.
That is a new position. It's a reason why certain things, certain department heads come under the commission. That didn't just happen. There was a reason why that is. Now, I don't like it when things are out of order. That is our finance department, is our department. So I need to know, and I do know this guy, because I was on the board when he was there. And I can't say anything about him other than he quit when it got rough in Dollar Ride. So I need us to get back into our position.
Right.
And I don't see this happening. A new position, no. It's out of order.
Director, so the finance director position is still, the
Okay.
job search is still on.
Yeah, yes.
Now, did we get any more resumes for that?
For the finance director, I'll be honest, I haven't had the chance.
Okay.
But I did look at the city managers.
I'm sorry, can you talk into the mic? I'm a little hard of hearing.
No problem, I apologize. Regarding the finance director position, so to be honest, I really didn't get a chance to look if there's new resumes. However, just for clarity, all of the commission have access to pay for it. When anyone actually applies for a position under the commission, all the commissioners have access to the finance director as well as the city manager's positions and pay for it. But I did not get a chance to look.
Okay.
And regarding the positions for the public works department, just aware of that. So it's not on the website, but it
Okay.
will be on the website tomorrow for people to apply.
Interim manager, you said how many for the public works?
Two,
Two. Part-time.
yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin.
Okay, first of all, I agree with Commissioner Henry. It's just so much going on. Every time I look, I see so many new people. I'm like, where this person come from? This, in the last probably 2 weeks, I've seen about 8 new people and we haven't heard nothing about it. I don't care if the internment can hire someone, but I think we should be aware since we are over the city. And I believe the guy that he's referring to, that he say will be hired, is the guy I just seen that was already hired. He just came out with a blue vest on, a suit thing. So going to, or did. Another thing, where is this money coming from? Where is this money? Because I hear we broke, then we got low cash flow, then we got money, but I done seen probably 7 or 8 people hired in the last couple of weeks that ain't came through me. They just coming through other commissioners, but they haven't been brought to me, which is a problem in itself, because I am commissioner and I expect the same respect and privilege. Can you, through the chair, can you have the internment answer where this money is coming from for this hiring?
City manager.
$70,000.
City manager.
It's coming from the city budget. And the budget will cover the position.
Where?
I mean by where? As long as it stays within the budget that's there, no real issue.
It is an issue, because we got a concern, we the commissioner. It is an issue.
Good, I understand.
Thank you. Also, how is it in the budget when we just did the budget and he just said it was a new position? How is the money in there covered in the budget when that was not in the budget? We just did the budget. And then they say, and then we can create new positions without going through us? I got a problem with that too.
So, city manager, so Allen is hired. today.
Yes, he is hired, and he's working.
Okay, money is budgeted.
Money is budgeted.
I'm still
Okay.
talking.
I need to know where it's budgeted at. Where is it?
City manager.
Money is budgeted in the finance area.
That's not good enough.
I'm
I
sorry.
still got the flow. What, in the finance area? And you can create a position without going through us for the budget?
The city
When we
manager,
supposed to control the budget?
the city manager can create a position.
Okay, so I would like a printed and signed copy of he got a contract, the new, what is he? Senior accountant?
Senior accountant.
I would like if he had a contract, I would like a printed and a signed copy of that. I would like anything regarding to that. Also, I would like a printed copy of where it is in the budget, where we're taking it out from the budget. Okay, another thing, the young man for part-time public work. Now, I know public work is under a union contract. So can you just have somebody, I've been in union for 30 years, bargaining chair and everything, do negotiations. Can you just hire some people off the street to take jobs, take work from union workers? Also, he said young men, so that comes to discrimination. So,
Yes, we're discriminating that we want them to be able to pick up a
I don't
bag
need
of
no
trash.
smart remarks.
throw
I
it
give them no
into the
smart
trash
emails.
truck.
I don't want no
And
smart
that's
remarks.
business, that's not smart.
And I know what business, I know business
All
part
right.
too.
That's the
Point of
job.
order,
we're
point of
doing.
That's
order.
all point of order on them, because I ain't buying it.
Okay, go ahead and finish up, Clark Griffin. Go ahead and finish up.
Okay, so,
Commissioner, let me have point of order. Let me handle me. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Clark.
okay. Yeah, so like I say, that comes to discrimination and maybe, contract violation. So that's it for now.
Ask the question.
Thank you.
Ask the question.
But, city manager, would these two positions be hired under the union?
They actually, if I'm not mistaken, have 4 approved positions, part-time already. They only have 2 people in them. One of the people they had in it, I believe when somebody else left, they moved up to full-time and they left the vacancy there.
like, it's discriminate only hiring full-time. I mean, y'all mean, so if an older guy applied for the position, you tell him, no, he's too old, so how we gonna handle, how is being handled? You just say,
It
no,
isn't
don't hire
about-
them,
it
and just
isn't
hire
about-
only the new one.
It isn't about
should
the
be
person's
talking when I'm talking.
age, it's whether the person has the ability to perform the physical requirements of the job. And typically, physical requirements are described as ability to walk, climb, lift up to 50 pounds, be able to throw a weight of that amount, so many feet a yard into a truck or whatever, must be able to stoop, bend, climb, they're typical requirements.
And who,
Whoever can do it.
so how do you determine that? You say it's not physical, how can you determine, cause somebody a certain age, I got people who've been working with me, and they standards,
When
and
we,
they do more than, and more. So how do you determine that?
we don't, the doctor does when we send
So you
them
give them
over
a
for
physical?
physically. Absolutely.
And so you can get an older guy physical and see if he.
Absolutely.
You don't discriminate, but
And
you
then
say
they be
young
able
guy.
to do it.
Well, where are you?
And I'm not, I'm
Somebody
the chair,
applies and
Okay.
proves that they
I'm
can do
gonna
it.
let you know right you are the chair, you control your meeting.
I know.
I'm not gonna allow him, if you don't stop him, I'm going to, because it's my
Go
right
ahead.
to disrespect.
This person's not even a member of the committee, and they're taking over the meeting.
This person is
Is a
Commissioner,
commissioner, but they're still not on this committee.
And
Point of order, point of order,
and
go
this is
ahead.
Commissioner Clark, Griffin, not this person, address me properly.
Okay,
I done
Commissioner,
had enough of the disrespect,
okay, Commissioner,
and I will file charges, you like to sue, I do too,
Commissioner,
and I win.
Commissioner
So let's
Kennard,
get it. My daughter on speed dial.
Commissioner
Like,
I'm
Kennard,
not gonna take her over, she's still speaking.
she finished.
I'm finished,
She
go
finished.
ahead.
I've seen a lot of discrepancies, answered many times, and they skirt over. We even asked for the city manager, how many has applied for that? How many resumes there?
You sent them. Oh,
How
go ahead,
many?
go ahead.
I'm asking you.
We got it on,
Yeah,
we have it on the agenda. We'll discuss that when we.
Okay, but what I'm asking is, everybody get a different answer. So I want, today, I want an answer for that. There's too many times that you put these jobs and have them available, and you leave this like the, finance director's job open and don't interview them for 2 or 3 months. These people need jobs. They go and look for another job after so long as they've been waiting. And we are supposed to be there when they interview them and among the hiring, we are supposed to be there. And so if anybody that's been even here, any length of time, that's in any position, they still got to do a background check for the job.
Right.
Because it's handling money. And eventually it's gonna have to be answered for some of the money that has been spent, that I was blocked from even talking to the person that's in charge of finance. And somebody else comes up and takes over, and I wasn't emailing them by that name. I emailed the person that I was interested in getting the answers from. That's over the finance. So now, I'm not looking for that to happen ever again.
Thank you. More questions?
Chair, may I speak?
Yes, I said Commissioner.
What are we gonna do about this?
About what?
I'm totally agreeing about information and being transparent.
Right.
So I heard Commissioner Griffin Clark said she wanted certain things. I wanna know if there was a RFP put out, what this job description is, what his duties is gonna be. I need to know what this person is going to come here and be close to our finance. There should be some information shared to us about creating a new, in finance. We got to have this information yesterday. If you ask for it, Chair, please, when you ask for it, will you please put a time frame on it? I don't wanna see us come back next month asking for the same thing. If you put a time frame on it, they're going to give it to us.
Thank you, Commissioner Henry. City Manager, can you get that information?
I will do that,
Job
sir.
description and what the position?
Yeah, all of it. You know what we want,
Okay,
what really happened.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, you got a question?
I have a question for the commissioners, for informational only. So, do y'all receive everything that's going on in the city, or is just specific things that you want to receive? I'm just asking, because I want to know.
Go ahead,
Answer
Chair.
the chair,
Okay,
you answer, you a commissioner.
I received-
I'm glad to answer.
I received the information. Go ahead, Commissioner Griffin.
We do not receive all the information. That's why we don't know a lot of times what's going on, because the staff runs the day-to-day. We pay them to run the day-to-day. But it's some things that we should receive and we don't receive. And it's also things that we ask for and we don't receive. I'm still waiting for a response from an email a month ago, maybe a couple of them. So that's the problem.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's been almost 2 months ago that I contacted the person that's in charge of the finance. I don't say finance director because that's not the name of it. Because the person is not the director of the city. So I asked the person, I called and they said she'd call me back. So I sent an email. Who intercepted the email? The city manager. And when I asked for finance, if they call it director or whatever they want to call it, but she's in charge of finance, I meant to speak to her. I didn't ask for city manager or nobody else. Her name was on it. So it was no mistake about whose name it was that I directed the email to. And for a person that intercepted that email and then send back to me that she's not available to give me an answer, and he don't know when she would be able to give me an answer. Now tell me a line, go into the mail and you'll see exactly what he says to me. So that's another word that we don't really account. That's why we're upset. Because I've seen on this side, being just a resident, how many times the commissioners, the main ones that are strong, ask for answers and they're dismissed. Year after year, it just runs into year and year and year. But we're supposed to smile and say, we're moving forward, expect great things. And when is that gonna happen? Getting answers so that we can conduct business, because we knocked on doors, we went to people and asked for their votes. When you ask for their votes, when there's some answers to be answered, we should have that information.
Thank you, Mr. Go ahead, Director Gallaudet, go ahead. We on the city manager resumes?
Yes.
Yes. I see
You
we,
guys have it.
yes, we had this, resumes were sent out. These commissioners got them. And it was a total of 16, resumes. So you just look at your email, you should have them all.
Who did you tell that there were four?
Four.
There was four there.
I didn't tell nobody. I said we'll select, maybe we can select 4, maybe through the selection. Maybe we can select,
You send it to me.
it should be, well, first you gotta look through them to see if it's 4. There's 16
So
resumes.
who's to determine?
Well, you can determine which one you can pick out of the 16, what you can.
So we had never been told that we had a limit.
Well, today you can make a selection. If you don't see none, then it's none. You can suggest, through the resumes. You don't understand, Commissioner? What's
There's
wrong?
a big question mark. That we've never been told that we have to come down to, they had the subcommittee to make the choices and all of this stuff.
We not making, the commission make,
We've been on the backside of a lot of things that's been going on. And you know it.
I don't know that. I can't
Of
agree
course
with
you
that.
do.
Okay,
You're right.
Commissioner Griffin.
Now, I had a question because we were talking about finance. So
We
I
done
had a
cleared.
question about the ARPA fund before we move to the city manager. Position.
That'll come in with the tax, with the next one. We
Oh,
not
so
to
we
the,
do, I don't have an agenda.
yeah, we
So
not,
it is a place in there, we'll talk about ARPA fund.
yes,
after
that'll
this.
come, yeah.
Okay, all right,
We do.
thank you.
Commissioner Henry, you had a question?
About what?
City manager resumes, did you receive the
I'm
resume?
just, thank you, I'm just
Amen.
looking at it right now.
So we
And I
want
will have comment.
Thank
Glad you know I'm gonna have
to,
comment.
thank you. So all, it's 16 resumes that went out to all the commissioners, so you can go through them and, you know, you got the job description was sent out to, so, yeah,
Is there a time frame? Is these
yeah, let's
been
go
sitting on
a
somebody?
week.
These been sitting on somebody's desk for how long?
No.
When did they come
They,
in?
they come out every month.
So how long have these been sitting, waiting to give to us? A week, a
Some
month?
a week, some 2 weeks.
Okay, I gathered that,
Okay.
because that's what's happening in the past. And that's the reason why we're in the place we are now. And I'm asking you in public now, Chair,
Yes.
to change the procedure so it gets to us in a timely manner. If one come in, let us resume. Why do we have to wait a month to review all of them?
Just like the Minister Galladay just said, you can go on Paycor and get.
Don't tell me that I'm supposed to go somewhere
Okay.
and do something. I don't get paid to do that. Staff gets paid to help me out, the commission. I don't get paid to go on the line and do nothing. I have staff that work for me. So I'm asking you to change the procedures so when it comes in, it goes directly out to every last one of us elected officials. That'll stop the problem of us waiting a month. The best one is probably already gone, because we waited too long. Now, if you think we're gonna keep doing the same thing over and over and get a different result, that's called insanity.
Thank you, Commissioner Henry, for your suggestion. And we'll make sure you get your resumes when they come out.
You have to make that procedure. You just can't talk about it.
You will get them, okay?
I beg your pardon?
You will get them as soon as they come. But for right now, we have 16 to look at.
We finna look at them right now.
No, well, you get a week. Can you get
Well,
16?
Can you change the procedure so if we don't like none of these, the next time we have to pay somebody to send it in, because we paying, ain't we? We paying big money for these reviews, aren't we? Yes, we are. So please, will you please put it in your power to change the procedure that when it comes in, it goes right out to us.
They do.
It do not. You just told me that
They
these,
go
some
to
of these
Paycor.
been sitting here for
Commissioner,
weeks.
Minister Galladay,
Yes,
when
sir.
you send the resumes out, soon as, can you do that? Is it possible? I know you were busy.
I will try my best to look on Paycor once a day. I can't say as soon as someone applies, I'm sending out because I have other job responsibilities, but I will look at Paycor once a day
We will-
and send it out.
and I
Probably
will
towards the
look-
end of the day and send it to Ms. Moore.
We will look at Paycor to make sure we get those resumes out as soon as possible.
Is anybody else in personnel? I see a lot of money going to the personnel department. Is there somebody else that can do that? Is she so busy?
No, there's no one else in person.
Right here.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Commissioner Griffin.
I just want to pick it out on what Commissioner Henry said, because for one, I didn't never know, I've been a commissioner 2.5 years, and I didn't know that we can go on Paycor, whatever it is,
Paycor.
or, okay, and look for resumes.
Yes.
Because I've never been told that. Matter of fact, I haven't been told anything. I just know because being over other stuff and asking questions, because that's what I do. But all this information should be, supplied to us. One other thing, and like Commissioner Henry said, we do have staff, and that's what staff is for, and they get paid for it. Some of them really good. We shouldn't have to go on a pay card, pay core,
core.
and wherever we look, whatever we ask for, we run this city, we should get. And I'm tired of getting the runaround, especially from the acting director, city manager / planning and economics director. I'm tired of getting run around. I'm tired of getting unanswered emails. And like Commissioner Henry said, he has been intercepting the emails from the staff. I've had several staff people that work for us, for the city, said that they have been advised if the commissioners ask questions or put in requests to be sent to him. And he even tried to intercept a police report that I found, which is my personal information that has nothing to do with him, which is a violation. So, once again, and he even said, city manager, under us, we hire city manager in our direction, and so and so. It's a lot that tells that he under us.
Right.
And he's supposed to comply and give us what we need. It's like 10 different paragraphs stating that. Charter, policy, procedure.
Right.
And that needs to happen. And that's not good faith. Telling the staff, don't send whatever the commissioner's questions or requests. Sitting him. And then if it goes to him, we still don't get answers most of the time. And if Ms. Rhonda is the acting finance director, then she should be under us too. I've sent her email, and then all of a sudden he gets on the acting CD, on it. That should not. This has to stop. All this needs to stop.
All right.
And hopefully we can solve it in-house.
Right.
Before we go out-house. Because I had enough. I'm tired of talking.
City manager.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, what would help? It would be if they simply read the charter. The charter is very specific. It says that commissioners are entitled to.
I read the charter. I don't care.
Point of order.
One order. Come on.
Query.
You
Whenever you're
got the
wanting
floor.
something substantial or more than a general query, it should come through the city manager. We go through this and we don't need a lot of confusion. The charter makes it very clear. As a matter of fact, the city manager acts as the personnel director, the purchasing agent, and it's right there in the charter. Yes, we work for the commission, but we work for a majority of the commission, not individual commissioners. The employees take their direction from me. That's what the charter says they're supposed to do. I get my direction through policy by the majority vote of the city council, commission, not by individual demands.
Thank you, city manager. All right, we're gonna move on.
I got one more thing.
Mr. Nars, you want to say something?
One other thing that I want to give you all, I want you all to follow. It's been a week ago, or maybe even less, that we get the newspaper that the city owes the cemetery X amount of dollars. Things that like this here, we had a clear audit, but then they owe money to other individuals. If we can't go in and talk to them and find out the different jobs that was done in order for these people to be charging the city. I wanted information. That's why I was gonna talk to the person that's charge of finance. This way, I'm clear when something like that come up, was this one of the things that I had a question about. So if I don't get the answer and it hits the newspaper that you owe money to the cemetery, quite a bit of money, but you had a clean audit, just clean, for years. there was a discrepancy there with the cemetery.
Mhm.
But clean off. So now what do? We're doing our job as commissioners by asking questions. When we don't get those questions, don't get upset because we're angry because we're speaking up. Because people come daily and ask us different questions. If we don't have the answers, we're not representing them.
All right, we're gonna move.
Yeah.
Okay, no, yeah, move
Okay,
on, okay.
this gonna be my last one on this subject. The acting intern, city manager said,
Interim.
and whatever he is, I mean, you can't, no disrespect, but I mean, don't try to correct me, but you know what he is, what I'm saying, who he is, okay? We got bigger issues than if I say it properly or not. Okay, he states that we need to read the charter. I ain't new to it, I'm true to it. I've been on the UAW executive board 30 years. I know the charter. But I know the charter, I know policies, Robert rules. I can probably run circles around a lot of people in it. Okay? So don't say, he'll say we need, you don't know what I read. I read it. But he needs to read it and fully understand that the commissioners is, oh, yeah, okay, the staff can answer to him, but he answers to us. It states over and over again in this, what his duty. I don't know if that ain't registered. Also, so that means whatever we ask him, we need to be answered. Also, city manager receives and answers correspondence and telephone inquiries relating to city operation policies and positions on a variety of issues. Answer. Receives and answers is one of the key words because we not getting answers.
That's right.
Even in our emails. So if he works for us and under us, okay, the staff, but when we ask him something or email him something, we need answers. And we don't need smart remarks. Because like I said, I'm not buying it. I'm not tolerating disrespect anymore. Even in email. And when he do answer some, it's derogatory remarks, it's negative remarks, not buying it. I'm finished.
All right, thank you. We're gonna move on to the tax, city income tax.
The report for the city income tax. In the months of June and currently, what I've been working on is finishing up preparing late individual and business tax returns that came in after the due date, which was April 30th, as well as reorganizing the filing for the income taxes. As you know, my assistant is no longer with the city, so therefore I'm trying to just clean up some stuff. Right, I'm just kind of cleaning up some areas of concern. To date, we have processed 405 residential tax returns and 1,458 non-resident tax returns. And again, anyone that actually lives and or works in the city is subjected to the city income tax. That's any type of income that you have that you actually earn in the city limits of Benton Harbor is subjected to city income tax. For the payment comparison from June 23 to June 24, made a mistake on my report, I have to change the dates. But for individual returns, we're up 24%. For withholdings, we're down 31% from last year. Total deposits is actually down 11%. Refunds are up 4%, and revenue is actually up 1,205%. I double checked that with Ron, just to make sure, because it didn't look right to me, but it is. I believe that's it. Well, we are starting compliance. I have had people actually call more in regards to, are they like subjected to city income taxes? We will be sending out letters in regards to it, and the commission, I will be bringing forward a draft compliance policy.
Okay.
Basically, as I stated in the past, is that every city has different procedures for the compliance part. Some actually put if people don't pay their city income taxes, it could either go on your credit or be turned over to like a credit bureau, things of the sort,
Mhm.
or civil, like you just get like a civil infraction or whatnot. But that would be left up to the commission, but I will be bringing forth the draft policy to put in place.
Okay. Giving out notices that you're,
Right now, it's just letters, notices, and things of the sort, but nothing to actually make people pay.
Commissioner Kennard?
Yes, I want to hear her very clear. If anyone works in the city of Benton Harbor, they're subject to the city income tax.
Yes, ma'am.
That was originally what it was documented, even when they was voted in.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I was told by the engineering, firm here, Avamaj. He said that no, the guys that's making big money, fixing our streets and everything, they're not paying into the city income tax.
We give you the wrong information.
And that's what he said, they're not paying into the city because they have to charge more. That's the answer. If you replay that, the
He
meeting.
said it.
So now how does somebody that hardly makes hamburger flipping burgers, they have to pay city income tax, but then a person making big dollars, they don't pay the city income tax. And if there was a change, who changed it? I wanna know what signature went on to change that.
There were no change. I actually sent Jason an email this week asking him for a list of all contractors as well as their employees, because they will be receiving a letter as well. Jason just provided you the wrong information, Commissioner, I'm sorry.
Okay, I know he said.
That's it? All right. Any more? Thank you. Next, we have discussion, City Income Tax Oversight Committee. That committee last met,
What is that?
pardon me,
What is that?
I
city,
was on it, but it's been years.
I know, but what? I know.
The last met February of 2020.
City Income Tax Oversight Committee, first meeting was 8/21/2018. That's when the city income tax really started. The committee last met February 11th, 2020. So the committee was made when the city income tax began. So it's this oversight committee made up of,
What was it supposed to do, Chair?
to give guidance. That's when we first adopted the ordinance or what the city income tax can do. Streets, roads, alleys, and deemed emergencies. And this oversight committee, as the money started coming in, gave insight on which way the money should go, roads getting fixed, just like it's deemed to do. And this committee was made up of
Come on.
Ms. Kennard was on there. She was you have a resident representative, Bowers representative, Don Meeks, non-representative, Linda Allen, Dr. Times, Rob Cleveland, Jeff Knowles as a business rep, and I think Mr. Little as a business rep. And I think the mayor was on it too, and Ms. Kennard, as I stated. Like I said, they last met in 2020, and that was the last meeting. So I put this on the agenda because I want people to know that where the money's going, and we have the financials after this, talk about how much is in it.
What is the date that we approved, that income tax was approved? And the date? I need
I don't
to
have
see
a
the
fix-
dates
That the income tax,
of what
you
this
voted
group
on
is
it?
supposed to do.
just have oversight, it's like it
But
says.
we
yes,
already got oversight because it's an ordinance, it's a
Okay.
legal document
And-
as to what we're supposed to do. So what is I need to understand
Mhm.
what the oversight is of our money.
In the beginning, this oversight committee gave guidance.
I know they,
I know.
they didn't guide us.
As the money
nowhere.
came in, that's why the
They
committee.
didn't guide us. That's why they disbarred their own self. No,
But
Sheriff,
anyway,
I'm not go, I'm just giving you history
okay,
of
okay,
this board. Now, I know you might not know,
okay.
but, what oversight? Everything is already done.
Mhm.
What do we need oversight for?
Oversight, what roads need to be fixed, what.
Who can tell us, who better to tell us than the one that's riding and walking?
And they did tell us too, that's why the roads getting fixed now.
So
It's-
regulation, too much regulation causes problems, and that's what that board did. When they really realized that they really couldn't tell us what to do, because everything was already in the ordinance,
Mhm.
they disbarred their own self. They just stopped coming.
Let me see.
Okay, just a second, Ms. Kennard. Wait, Commissioner Kennard.
What happened was, we got no notice
Okay,
that it had shut the commission down. I mean, put
board.
that board down.
Right.
When we knew anything, there was no call for no meeting times, no nothing. Who dissolved it? We don't know. Nobody contacted me by letter or anything. They just did things like they wanted. You asked questions, you never get an answer. Because I was attending every meeting there was.
Right.
And I thought I should have at least, the chairperson, which was the mayor, should have sent me a letter to let me know and why
Mhm.
they was shutting it down.
Right.
I never got that. And if they can document and send a letter, it better be in ink from back there. It can't be no just recent something they signed up and put up there for me to get.
Right.
Because I was
Should've get-
there,
You
and I
was
didn't miss any meeting. And you know I'm one of those that's determined
I
to
know.
make my meeting.
Your
Yes.
stakeholders,
Go ahead,
one dropped out.
Minister Galladay, you had something?
Yes, I believe all meetings stopped during COVID. So that was just one of the meetings that
They
was
stopped
stopped as
before
well. When was the last date? Was it 2020?
2020, yeah, 2/11/2020.
Right, all meetings stopped during COVID and it just never started again.
City
I want the
manager,
exact
city
date that
manager,
last meeting was.
February 11th, 2020.
So when did COVID hit? It was March and
February,
February,
City manager, you want to speak on city?
February 20.
Go ahead.
You said that board, you had explained us what it was for? You said it was for the streets, the roads, the trees,
The
and everything
ordinance.
else?
Not trees.
Not trees.
You didn't say trees?
It's deemed emergencies at the end.
Emergency things? Okay, all right, that's all.
Thank you. So we'll be looking at that more.
You want to establish this board again? Is that what you're saying?
No, I did not say that. I said it's no applicants that came in through the clerk. So we were just working through personnel and finance to better do the tax administrator, get more information in depth where the money is, how much money is we have and where the money is going. Oh, go ahead. Oh, Rhonda, okay.
Projects have been done using, even though there is not a committee, projects have been done. I believe they've been presented to the commission to vote on. The last project was a $2 million, which ended this past year, a $2 million local road project. There was another one that was, I think, over $1 million before. So it's not like projects didn't continue after the oversight committee disbanded or stopped meeting. Projects were presented to the commission and voted on to use
City
income tax money funds.
So we just worked through the personnel and finance committee, getting all that information about the city income tax and what projects being done, the amount of money, Any emergencies? Thank you. Gonna move forward now, next, finance. The financials. We be able to put that up.
Let's see, I couldn't do it on Monday.
Okay.
It wasn't cooperating. Let me see if it's working now.
Ron, you have the floor.
I'm trying.
I can tell you right now, the graphics look a lot better in the general fund and utility fund. You can see them. You can see,
Any money?
you can see the money. So things are happening, things are getting,
And it's getting spent.
it's getting spent as
It's
it comes.
spent as
Yeah.
it comes in, but yes, the city at the end of June had money in both the general fund and utility fund. The general fund had received, the revenue sharing at the end of June. Utility services, the collections are picking up there,
Mhm.
but it's going out
So,
fast.
as it's coming.
Yeah, and some of it was used to pay prior payables.
So I can't get it on screen. It only wants to show like my home screen right now. So the system might have to be rebooted, but there is a copy in the packet. So
Okay.
everybody
So
has a
this is,
physical
this
copy.
is page 2 that we're talking about.
Mhm.
And in the last few months, the utility fund and the general fund have not had much cash, but because cash has come in for revenue sharing and utility services collections has picked up, there is some cash in both funds. The general fund income tax, there's 2.1 million in the general fund income tax account as opposed to 4 million last year, and what the difference is $2 million was spent on a local road project this past year.
Did you say that again? City, that's the city income tax?
Mhm.
Did you say that
Income
again for
tax
people
is-
in here?
Current account balance is 2,185,840.
Thank you.
Major and local streets also has a balance of about $1 million. Public improvement, 416,000. And the property tax collection fund has almost $1 million because the city received at the end of June the revolving payment from the county. So that was dispersed in July
Oh,
to the library,
Pay out.
dial-a-ride, and the city, and the utility fund for some of the delinquent utility bills. So that was another influx in July that the city account saw. But again, there are a lot of payables that, and payroll that is taking the money and using it right away.
Right away.
So. On the utility side, the receivables, cash has really picked up in that area. In the month of June, $330,000 was collected. And in prior months, we barely saw $100,000. So it has actually moved faster than I anticipated. I anticipated it to start creeping at about 200 to 250, and it's been over 300,000, which is good. However, we still have a large past due balance. There's still 585,000 that people are over 60 days, and that's about a half of that accounts receivable balance. So there's
How
some
much?
still,
How much is that again?
585,000 is, as of today,
Back.
it's 60 days or older. I don't go to 30 to 60, I mean, some people take that long to pay, but I use 60 as a cutoff, 60 and over, and there's 585,000 still uncollected in that.
Okay.
Buckets. Now, some of them do have payment plans, but the individuals that have payment plans are not the large ones. They're most of the small ones. We had about 170
payment plans, so. But again, the cash is flowing better than I anticipated.
Yeah, I didn't hear you say cash is low, no.
Well, it is, it's still, I mean, we're catching up on payables, but it
Mhm.
still needs to be watched carefully because property tax money is just starting to trickle in and we won't see a large amount paid until the
September.
end of August, it starts flowing in, but the bulk of it comes in the day before it's due.
Yeah,
Is when I pay too, so that's when the big dollars come in.
Yeah,
So, and this time we get all of it in September.
September, right.
It's all been built in September for the city. On the second page, it's page 3, I know there was some confusion on what some of the funds were in the city and how they were, what kind of expenses were in there and how the revenue is generated. So I just put a summary together by fund that shows what the fund is used for and how the money comes into that fund.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to go through it or you just want to look at it and.
Yeah, just run through a couple,
Okay.
yeah, run through it.
It's quick, yeah, general fund, that's your operations of the city. And it pays for all the city departments that operate. The primary revenue sources for that are property tax, income tax, state revenue sharing, and state and federal grants. The major and local street funds, now, this is money that comes in other than the income tax. You do get money in every month from the state, and it's used, it all has to be in a fund and be used for construction and maintenance of the major and local streets within the city limits. That money comes in to the city from the state of Michigan, and it's part of the gas tax that is allocated to the city based on how many miles you have of roads and what your population is.
Okay.
So there are formulas with the state that determine how much you're gonna get. CDBG is a fund, and that is for all HUD-approved expenditures. That's in the annual operating or the annual plan for HUD. Revenue is received from them, and all approved expenditures are 100% reimbursed by grant funds. Permanent Public Improvement Fund, that is by charter, a millage that is charged on the taxes. And it's to be used for capital improvements to buildings and properties within the city. We usually try to pick some major project, like for instance, this year there's some funding needed for some of the parking lots that wasn't 100% grant funded, so we're gonna match the dollars out of this fund. Then there's the pension fund that is also by charter a property tax millage that's charged. Its purpose is to fund or cover police and fire pension expenses. All that money, when it comes in through the taxes, gets paid to the general fund because all of the pension payments to the tune of 1.5 million come out of the general fund, so we just transfer that money to help make the payments. This fund doesn't collect a whole hundred, it's less than 100,000. And then the last big operating fund is the utility fund, and that's for those cities' water and sewer system. Revenues that come in just for the operations are paid by the residents and businesses that are billed for using water and sewer. Now, trash is also part of the bill, but every month that revenue that's generated for trash is transferred to the general fund because that's where the operational expense is. But for ease, it was placed on the bills for the utility fund. And these are the main funds, operating funds in the city.
One question for you, Rhonda. If, on the utility fund, if all residents and businesses paid their monthly bill on time, how much revenue, how much would that, did you get an estimate?
Just under 400,000, about 380,000.
All right.
I think each fund is about 2 million in revenue for water and sewer.
On the financials, any questions? Financials. Mr. Henry.
Through the chair, when I read the newspaper, and I hate to read news about my city
Right.
in the newspaper before me as a commissioner get it, it just drives me wild.
Okay.
So we owe, supposedly, alleged, we owe $100,000 to the cemetery. That's what Harold Palladium said, that somebody else said. So, do we?
Can I answer that?
Oh,
I'm on that board, yes, we do all that. We owe that to them.
You're on the board, and
We
know,
don't,
but
we
not-
don't now, it's been paid.
Go ahead, City Manager, you got the floor. Say it again.
We don't now, and most of it has been paid.
Paid. Say that word again, paid, right?
So can I get an understanding of how did we get in that position in the first place to owe that kind of money for the services that we have already? Just please explain it to me.
Did you,
Did you want to go?
Yes, I would.
oh, go ahead.
The story behind the entire financial position here is that the city is climbing out of a hole that it's been in for some time. Can't say for sure that it just started with the emergency managers, but it certainly was exacerbated through that period. As a consequence, we are continuously attempting to pay our indebtedness
Right.
from the cash flow as the money comes in, despite the fact that in several areas that everybody knows,
Right.
we're not getting all the money that it's costing to operate. Perfect example is the cemetery. That cemetery for many, many years was self-sustaining. For whatever reason, a member on the board decided they wanted to do whatever it was that they were doing to make an issue out of something that frankly was a non-issue. We don't just owe the cemetery, at least at that time, $100,000. We have a lot of folks we owe $100,000 to. And we're continuously paying them as we are able to. I made the point when she jumped up to try to showboat on an issue at the meeting. I said, look, cemetery also has to have grass cut. The city is paying. There's no money coming in specifically to cover that. So the cemetery used to pay to have their grass cut. Trees trimmed. The roads out there repaired when they start having problems and whatnot. Trash being picked up. All of that is stuff that this city government now has to bear the cost for. And there is no special tax levy to cover it. There is no income coming in to cover it. And as I said to her, just as you're talking about this particular little piece of money that didn't get to where you thought it should go when you thought it should go, we still are paying to cut grass, paying to trim trees, doing everything else that needs to be done there. So, you know, it was just so much noise about nothing, is what it really amounts to. This city, and you've been talking about it for ever since I've been back here, you've got a 12 million gallon a day water plant that used to pump 8 million gallons a day to the other communities and so forth around here. It now pumps 1 billion gallons. You still have the overhead costs necessary to maintain and operate that plant, the same as what it was before. It's still a 12 million gallon a day plant. So what we're doing until such time as we're able to turn the situation around to where it can generate enough revenue to pay its own way, it's being pulled out of other funds and so forth to help balance and keep things going according to what our cash flow is. Ms. Hildebrand has been explaining year in and year out. Taxes come at a certain time, and then for a brief period, you're cash flush. And then it catches up. A lot of the bills that have been stretched out, and it drops back down again until state revenue sharing comes in or whatever. These things come at different times. The city has to operate 12 months a year. It don't get the level of cash that it needs 12 months a year. On top of that, we got a lot of other built-in problems. An example was made a few weekends ago. We talked about writing 87 tickets, and people were happy to have the tickets because the tickets were $5, and I believe the cost for the day's space out there was $10. It was saving money by just getting a ticket. Well, that's our fault because that needs to be upgraded.
Right.
The same thing is going on with the trash. We have a trash bill that we use, but we are picking up and paying costs for more trash than what that trash bill is covering. That's happening all over in any number of areas. Now, that didn't start when I picked up this file. You know, I just started covering this in March, and I'm not paid an extra dime for it. But I'm attempting to help resolve and straighten out a lot of these problems and issues because I know how to do it. It takes a lot to do it, and it needs a cooperation of all parts of this city mechanism to make that work. With the elected people, the staff people, and everybody involved. I mean, we are so, if somebody is ill and out, we're struggling to try to do what needs to be done. Ms. Hildebrand was off for a couple of weeks and she's working from home trying to cover as much as she can of the things that need to go on. There's some areas that we got to start looking from a managerial perspective to make some sense out of. We've got a lot of situations that there's no coverage for. We're so thin that if a person, heaven forbid, passed away, what are we going to do? So we're trying to do the things that make sense to try to straighten out this city government's problems and try to get it back on a sound footing. And finance is the common denominator to everything that we do.
Okay, first of all, I've got several complaints from cemetery board members that when they try to say something, they get talked bad to, belittled, or hollered at, just all kinds of issues. And these people are volunteering their time and their service. And then as acting interim and city manager just said, one of the board members making a whole lot of issues about nothing. It had been something was in the paper, and we didn't even know about it. And it wasn't just 100,000; that was 100,000 plus, I think, 23,000 and something for something else. I think buried. So they have a right to express, because that's what they're there for. And they have a right to be treated with respect also, and not belittled or talked down to or retaliated or harassed against when they speak up. And then you wonder why nobody want to serve on committees and boards. Secondly, the lawn service. I've had some lawn care people, I've had some say they haven't been getting paid. This is even after we approved the money on the AP at the commission meeting. Some of them not getting paid, or they only getting paid some of it. Now, the last few months, I don't know now what's changed. Can anybody think what's changed? In the last few months, it's been an issue with them people getting paid. Contractors, lawn service, cemetery, and a lot more getting paid. So we having a problem, because what if they say, okay, I'm not doing nothing because I'm not getting paid? So we need to get to the core of the problem. And then Mr. I guess, can I not say that? So in his professional capacity, interim city manager said that he's trying to help. He is an interim city manager and the planning economic director. That is his job. And then he said he ain't asked for no extra. Then we just in the budget was an increase. So I believe to 208,000. So what? Anyway, yeah, so come on, let's be clear what people's jobs are and how much they get paid. And another thing, can I talk about the aqua fund right now? Because we on finance, so we gotta wait a little further. Or this is the time.
Go ahead, we can finish up.
Okay, thank you. So, I was doing my research, you know, I like to be correct. And the aqua fund, I came across where the aqua fund we did on August 21st, 2023. We did a temporary transfer of aqua funds to the CDBG. Now, according to this paper, signed, dated, that money was supposed to be reimbursed back to the aqua fund. Okay, and it's like every 30 days. I don't remember it being reimbursed.
Rhonda, did the money get
The
reimbursed?
money was reimbursed. That was the only time we had to borrow for CDBG. It was a one-time deal to pay for CDBG expenses. And it gets just moved as a transfer from one fund to another. That money was moved back. We did not use it in any of the accounting here for ARPA funds. That was not used or not paid back. It was.
So great, it was paid back. Can I get a signed, printed, and dated copy of that where it's been paid back? Thank you. I rest my case. Thank you. That's all.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, I've got someplace I've got to be
Okay.
at 7:00, and I need to meet for just a couple of minutes with my two staff people.
Any more questions on the finance? Go ahead.
Yes,
Ladies first.
is there, I was under the impression that when the other company took over, or we took back on the cemetery, that the company was going to get paid by the people that are getting buried. Now, I need to know where all this other money came from, because my understanding was that it was gonna cancel out, them paying him to dig the grave and do whatever they do, will cancel out. So maybe I missed something, but I need an understanding of that.
Chairman, if you will, I'll try to help with that. The cemetery cost of operation includes, of course, the cost of digging the graves, interring the people, covering it, and that money is paid typically by the customer, the family, whoever that's having it done. As a result of the emergency manager's order, all of that money goes to C management, the people that do that. The cemetery, however, has other costs. Costs of cutting grass, removing dead trees, trimming limbs, cleaning up, repairing the roads out there. You got an office building there, electric utility goes to it, other things. They have no income to cover that. That's coming out of the general fund. And so I think the question you're asking, the people that use the service don't pay directly to sea management, they pay to the cemetery board. And when they pay to the cemetery board, as it has no staff, it comes into the general fund here. And then we pay the money over to sea management. Did I miss something in there? Is that about how that works?
Oh, I just want to clarify that it's not paid to the cemetery board, it's paid to Crystal Springs Cemetery.
Who is that?
The
Who is
cemetery?
Crystal
Crystal
Springs?
Springs
Is it
Cemetery?
a person or is it a corporation? Who is Crystal Springs Cemetery?
It's a cemetery.
But it's the
Is it a person? Is it a city? What is it?
It is the city, but the name is Crystal
Right.
Springs, and it goes into, the money that gets paid goes into a separate bank account. And then that money is voted and should be transferred to the general fund to reimburse for what is owed to sea management. The sea management's bills typically come in, and then we have to get cash after the cemetery board approves it, so there's a lag. So the money goes into Crystal Springs at Huntington, and then that check is written from there to pay the city general fund back for what's paid to sea management.
So it's probably in
There's a
the
lag.
time lapse in between
There's a lag.
things. But the way the newspaper wrote it kind of helped me out that they didn't get paid any money.
They did.
There was a delay. There was a delay
How
because
long
of
was
cash.
the delay, Ms. Hildebrand?
Month and a half, 2 months. I mean, there was a cash
What's the
shortage.
normal delay?
Normal delay, I mean, most people get paid 30 days.
Yeah.
But there was a cash issue,
I got you.
yes.
Okay. Thank you, Chair.
Is there a
One
question?
more.
No, I was just curious, we just had an audit, and we supposedly had a clean audit. Wouldn't that have been caught on audit?
Paying of bills is not,
It's not an audit issue.
that's not an audit issue. It's the recording of the bills. The audit is to make certain that the city is recording all the expenses that are incurred by the city in the correct period. Cash flow and how much money the city has is not part of an audit.
Right.
I mean, if the city goes into a deficit, then it will be an issue
Right.
for the audits, but you really don't deal with cash at all.
I was curious.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's just a cash flow issue.
All right, yes.
And the thing I'm trying to get people to understand and keep in mind is we have a continuous cash flow issue. It isn't just this week or next week or next month. It's continuous, and it's going to be continuous until such time as the city's revenues balance against its expenses.
No, I'm just looking at some of the back personnel and finance committee meeting years ago, 3 years ago. We started out, cash is low, warrants are spending. Go ahead, Ms. Kennard.
Well, what I'm thinking is, when we have services that require expenditures out of our account, general fund, should we not know what the services that we provide that we're paying out? And if there's really, we paid out to give off a balance. They're talking about cooking the books. If they're really confident, what did they supply? You paid $5,000 for somebody to do such and such. What was the company? And who did it? They were supposed to even vote it out, some money to be, for some documents and different things to be cleaned up in the basement. That was voted out, was it?
I don't know.
Was it not?
I don't know. City manager, you know anything about it? I don't know about it. Go ahead, Carter. Commissioner.
So are you talking about the 50,000 that we voted to block out the basement?
Yes.
That was voted, yes. So it was voted.
Oh, so the money's still in there then.
It wasn't spent.
You want to spend the
You
money,
guys didn't spend it, but we talking about was it voted, that's what she asked.
the money's still in there.
So we did vote.
No, it was in the budget.
It's in the budget.
We never had a contractor that we got with.
You got somebody cleaning up the basement.
But it did pass.
I don't know.
Go
Go ahead, Mr. Donkey, go ahead.
I just want you guys to stop all talking at the same time, so I can hear everything you have to say.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Through the chair, can you ask, the city clerk to, elaborate on that? When we voted for that 50,000?
I don't remember voting for anything that we contracted to clean out the basement.
Yeah,
I remember there being a conversation about it being in the budget.
it's in the budget. It's in there.
Yeah, but I don't remember voting on a
Not to clean out the
contract.
basement, to block out the basement.
Yeah,
It's in the
We
budget.
voted on that.
It's in the
and
budget.
I can go back and I'll look at the indexes, to see if there was anything actually voted on by the commission. But I just remember it being a topic because it was in the budget.
It wasn't voted on, it was just in the budget.
That's all you got, Ron? That's it? You got more? or-
So I need that printed.
All right, thank you, everybody, for participating. This meeting is adjourned.
Boy, Eddie Marshall, you just really, you must ain't have no dinner and you going to get your